Palace LLC Vlog 9. This one is called Singles versus Albums. And this one really only pertains to unsigned and up and coming artists. Because if you're a mainstream artist, this really don't pertain to you. But if you're an unsigned and up and coming artist, it makes no sense for you to be recording an album. First of all, when have you heard of an artist that first came into the game and made it because of a hit album? No, we make it off of hit singles. Your first time in the game is off of a hit single, not a hit album. So, you as an unsigned and up and coming artist should always be focusing on a single. Number one, because we make it off of hit singles, not hit albums. That's not how you pop at first. You make the hit single, and then maybe you can make a hit album. But a hit album doesn't come before a hit single. It's so backwards. Number two, you don't have enough fan base for albums. If you're not selling merchandise already to fans, and I don't mean like just a handful of fans. I mean like thousands of fans, or you're not headlining a tour, and got hundreds of people coming to pay for tickets, or thousands of people to come pay for tickets for the show you're headlining. Like, it makes no sense for you to be making an album. Because who you going to sell it to? You got no fans. You have to build fans first before you drop albums. Because if you ain't got no fans, there's nobody to buy your album. Who's gonna buy it? You ain't got no fans. And trust me, most unsigned and up and coming artists don't got a lot of real fans. They're not headlining tours, they're not selling merchandise, they're definitely not selling albums. They're barely selling singles on iTunes. And just because somebody streams your music doesn't make them a fan. Just because they follow your Twitter doesn't make them a fan. Just because they like your Facebook page doesn't make them a fan. Because a fan is short for fanatic. And a fanatic is somebody that goes crazy over what you have to offer. Chick-fil-A has fanatics. Chick-fil-A has fanatics. They selling chicken sandwiches like there's crack in them every day. And they coming back like crazy. Chick-fil-A's got fanatics. Unsigned artists don't have fanatics. Not yet, And if you're not a, major independent or a real big up and coming independent, you're not going to have fans. Like, there's a lot of independent artists out there that have fans. And if you got, a good few thousand fans, that's a good starting point of how to make money off of your fans. But, if you don't got 10,000 fans or more, in my opinion, it makes no sense for you to even be recording an album. Because, there's just not enough people out there to even buy it. So, singles versus albums. This is a single-driven business. Like, you don't see too many people nowadays, even on the mainstream scale, that come out with a hit record and sell albums. Chief Keef had 2 back-to-back hit records and sell no albums. Rich Homie Quan ain't selling albums. Just because you got a hit record doesn't mean you're going to sell albums. That doesn't mean you got fanatics either. You know what I'm saying? So, all I'm saying is, if you ain't even got no fans, you only need to be working on singles. And even if you got fans, you might only need to be working on singles. Like, albums are just so, like, a waste of time and money for most artists, unless you're a J. Cole or a Kendrick Lamar or a Drake or Chance the Rapper or Kanye West or Big Sean. These guys that hit around gold status, close to platinum. Because most dudes nowadays, I don't care how many fans they got, they can't even really sell gold. So it makes no sense for almost anybody to be dropping albums unless you got a ton of fanatics, and I mean diehard fanatics. They're gonna You know, like what Joyner Lucas has, where they're gonna come watch every video. They're gonna come to the show every time you come to town. They're gonna buy a CD. They're gonna buy a hat. They're gonna buy a shirt. They're gonna buy a lot of different things. They're gonna buy a meet and greet when you ain't even signed to a major label. That's fan base. You know, like if you're an unsigned artist and up and coming artist and nobody's willing to pay for a meet and greet, why are you making albums? It makes no sense for you to be dropping an album if nobody's willing to pay for meet and greets just to meet you. You ain't there yet. You know, you might get there, but you ain't there yet. So I don't really need to get a lot into this, man. Singles versus albums. It makes no sense for unsigned and up and coming artists to be really working on an album. And there's a lot of dudes in the mainstream world that shouldn't even be putting out albums because they don't make enough good music overall past their singles for an album. They don't make classic music, timeless music. Time albums are for timeless music, man. Timeless artists. And dudes come and go so much in this business, Some dudes have 2, 3 year stints and they're gone. I mean, it's not common that an artist lasts 10 years in this business when you get to the mainstream. You might last 10 years, but you're not going to last the next decade. History tells us only like a handful of guys last a decade and then we'll be popping the next decade, because new faces are going to come out and they're going to be popping for that next decade, and even those guys ain't dropping too many albums, man. Like, yeah, so if you're up and coming, unsigned, man, don't be working on albums. You're wasting time and you're wasting studio money because you don't have enough fans to even buy it. And you're not going to get enough streams to make up for the time and money you put into it, without fans, without real fan base. So, singles versus albums, singles all day long. This is Promo Palace, Vlog 9, singles versus albums. Check us out, promopalace.biz, indiecastle.net, planetplaylist.com. You can follow us on social medias at Promo Palace or at Promo Palace LLC or at Indie Castle. You can email us at promopalace1, that's the number 1, at gmail.com. Once again, I'm Paul Pickett, and I'm out.